In the previous video we took the backhoe off the Mahindra 1635, and today I'm going to put it back on. Now taking it off is just a little bit easier than putting it back on, because you can pretty much take it off anywhere. But it's really important that when you take it off you put it on as level of a surface as possible. Some people even go so far as to put it in their garage or on a patio or some sort of perfectly level cement area. Let's see how this works out for me. I just parked it in the gravel and see how much effort it takes to put it back on. So stick around and I'll show you how to put this backhoe back on a Mahindra tractor. You're going to need to use tractor hydraulics to hook this back on. First thing we're going to have to do is hook the hydraulics back up to the power beyond on the tractor. And what that'll do is that'll allow me to lift up the platform and the hitch. And I've got to get those, they're like cylinders that fit in the little socket here. And then I can just tilt it back and we should be able to just drive the pin right through. So let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is. So the first thing we do is just take our joystick and make sure we don't have any pressure on it. Next thing we're going to do is hook these hydraulics back up. So we had to make a loop here because this is an open circuit hydraulic. The Power Beyond doesn't have a valve in it until you get back here. So what you have to do is put a loop in so that you have continuous flow of hydraulic oil back through the pump. If you don't put this back on, you can burn the pump up and you'll know that it's not hooked up because it'll sound terrible. So this is different than the remote, where the remote has the valve on the tractor. This one right here is a Power Beyond, so the valve is on the implement. Sometimes the valves are a little bit tricky. Sometimes it's hard to tell by looking at it real quick if it's a pull back or if you're trying to pull this way. So if it doesn't go the way you think it might, try the other way, and that usually solves the problem. So again, we got this right here, and you're gonna get oil on you. It's not possible to do this job without getting oil on yourself. That's why it's important to periodically check the fill level of your hydraulic fluid in your tractor. So this was run what I think is incorrectly through the side. You want to get as much hose as you can without obviously making a hazard where you're going to ruin it. So take those out. And Mahindra gives you plenty of hose, so you're going to want to make sure that just goes somewhere where you're not going to pinch it, because that would be for a real bad day. Try to keep these out of the dirt as much as you can, because obviously it's oil and it attracts dirt. Yeah, you've got a filter, but you don't want to put dirt in there if you don't have to. So these have like little ball bearings. When it goes in, that cover will come back. These things do not like any dirt or dust, so if you get anything in there, pull your 3-point hitch all the way up and then lock it into position. See what's going on here, and you want to be real careful as you do this, but you're going to pick your stabilizers first, and you're going to use those to carefully get your machine up where you need to be to clear right there. So that looks like that's probably going to work. So what I can do now is back the tractor up slowly. I'm going to carefully back the tractor up so that I get those hooks underneath where I need to be. Just be real careful of your hydraulic lines. A lot of people ruin them. Alright, so we use our dipper stick to position this in where we want to go, and the dipper stick obviously is the one on the left. We're going to gently push that back until we get it into position. Be careful of your hoses everywhere. That looks fine. And I've already greased these slots here, so those slide right in. And we're going to put our linch pins in right here. It doesn't matter if you do the outside ones or the inside ones, or if you go in or out. Let's go around and do the other side. This all looks good. So like I said, you can come in or out. It doesn't matter which way you go with it. Whichever way is easier for you is the way you should do it. Alright, and now your backhoe's on. These right here are your stabilizer pins and your rods, and to be honest with you, I'd only use those if I was going down the road with it. Alright, with our backhoe on, we're going to go ahead and take care of that. We're going to bring up our stabilizers, or your feet, street pads, whatever you want to call them. And there it is, your backhoe's on. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you in installing the backhoe on your Mahindra tractor. They're all pretty much the same. They've all got a cradle, and you just need to use your stabilizers, your street pads, whatever you want to call them, to get your tractor, your backhoe up into position of the tractor. And then once you get it pretty close, you can back your tractor underneath those two little hooks, use the street pads to set the backhoe down in those cradles, and then use your dipper stick, push that forward, and that'll raise the back of the tractor into position. And then you put your pins in, and you're good to go. I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and please check out some of my other videos. I'll talk to you next time.